We have a Chris Jones update as ESPN NFL insider Dianna Russini joined the Pat McAfee Show to discuss the latest. He, of course, continues his holdout from Chiefs training camp. My name's Harrison Graham. Let's jump on into it. Here's Russini on McAfee Show yesterday. She says the Chiefs still feel really optimistic that they're going to get it done. The number Chris Jones wants, it's a big number, but every conversation I've had with the Chiefs over the last few months has been nothing but understanding his value and understanding his role on this team. They feel like they're going to get this done. They're optimistic. It feels a little icky right now, but I think it's going to work out by the time we get to the third or fourth week of camp. Him not showing up surprised them. Could it go off track? Of course it could, but I don't get that sense. You know, my take on where this sits right now is I still think the deal gets done, but the confidence is lowering at least a little bit, right? Like, if, you know, even when he was held out the first day or two, I would have said, 95% chance they're going to get this done. That number has lowered for me. I do think there's at least a sliver of a chance that he ends up either getting traded or this being his last year, God forbid. But you never know, right? We saw Tyreek Hill get traded last year. I've made that point before. If he's asking for money that Brett Veach deems unreasonable, then who knows? He could obviously decide to not extend him. So what is your confidence meter that Chris Jones will get extended? Scale of 1 to 100, your confidence that the Chiefs will sign Chris Jones to a contract extension. Go ahead and drop it a number down below. I'm at a 72% confidence level, so that's still pretty confident, right? Like, I feel good about this. I just don't feel great about it anymore. Like, the longer these things go on, the less confident you have to be, right? That's just natural. The closer you get to week one, the less confidence it is. Because I do feel pretty confident in this, that if it gets into the season and he doesn't have a new deal, I do think he'll return and play. But I think once week one comes and goes, he will not sign a deal during the season. He will let this go into next offseason and try to hit the open market. And then, you know, the Chiefs can make a decision on a franchise tag or whatever the case may be. But I maintain that, like, you can't replace this guy. Obviously, the Chiefs didn't replace Tyreek Hill with one player. And, you know, you could argue that going with the volume of receivers still can't replicate what he does. But you still had Mahomes. You still had Kelsey. Who is that guy on the defense? Like, I love Nick Bolton. He's an off-ball linebacker. He's not going to go put his hand in the dirt and have 15 sacks. Like, you just don't have that if you don't keep Chris Jones around. So Brett Veach has to have an understanding of the repercussions of him not being here, because this defense runs through Chris Jones. And Chris Jones is holding firm because he's seen guys get paid. He knows his value. He knows he's better than Quentin Williams. He knows he's better than Jeffrey Simmons. Those are great players, and yes, they're a few years younger, but Chris Jones last year was the best defensive tackle in football, period, end of story. He was better than Aaron Donald. Now, would I give him $32 million per year? I would not. I would not do that. But would I give him 28 and $70 million guaranteed? I'd probably do that, because that is what he is worth. He is that good of a player. I know he's 29. Give him a 3 or 4 year extension. If the last year of that deal he's not great anymore, so be it. You're trying to focus on today and right now you think you can win another Super Bowl. I'll tell you this, you lose Chris Jones, I don't think you're the favorites to win the Super Bowl this upcoming season. If Chris Jones signs an extension, we're going to break it down for you guys, so subscribe and turn on that notification bell. Don't miss out on the latest Chiefs news, rumors, and everything else going on during training camp as we roll on. Speaking of rolling on, let's get to some camp notes. Tershawn Wharton says he's glad to be back. He, of course, tore his ACL last year. He was activated from the PUP list earlier this week, talked to the media yesterday, and is excited to have an impact in 2023. He said, I'm ready to go. You know, I'm tired of watching. I kind of feel like a cheerleader right now, but it's coming. It's coming. You know, he's kind of sitting there saying, yeah, you know, I'm working my way back. I've been cleared, but obviously he's got to get into football shape and kind of go through the cautionary measures that I'm sure the Chiefs have in place as he continues to kind of fully ramp up. But it's good to see that surgery went well and that he is cleared. More on Turk Wharton in a minute, because I think his role could be somewhat significant for this Chiefs defense this year. BetUS, our sports book partner here at Chat Sports. Hall of Fame game was last night. You got preseason games just around the corner for other teams, including the Chiefs as well. Put your money where your mouth is. Create an account today, and you'll have yourself covered all season. Put down $100 at chatsports.com patreon.com/ChiefsBet. Use our promo code Chiefs125. You'll get an additional $125 for free. So you're starting out with $225. That can carry you the whole season. It carried me all last season. I had plenty of money to spare once Week 18 and really the Super Bowl run wrapped up as well. If you want to go back on some futures like NFL MVP for this upcoming season, Patrick Mahomes plus 650. He's the favorite. Put down $10 to win 65. Josh Allen, Joe Burrow, Jalen Hurts plus 800 odds. Justin Herbert at plus 1,200. I think Lamar Jackson's also plus 1,200. So if you feel good about Mahomes winning or someone else, go put your money down. Chatsports.com/ChiefsBet. Promo code is Chiefs125. You look at Tershawn Wharton's career stats. First 2 years, remember, he was kind of a just out of nowhere small college in Missouri, UDFA in 2020. Shocked us all, made the team, played pretty well. Was pretty solid as a rotation guy again in 2021. Was on his way to do it again last year as he had a sack in just 5 games played, I believe. But then he tears his ACL. But I think this year he could have maybe the biggest role he's ever had on this football team, just because the interior of this defensive line does have question marks outside of Chris Jones, who, by the way, isn't at training camp right now. So he could definitely have a big role. Like right now, if you played a game today, he would probably start next to Derek Nottie because he's more of a 3-tech like Chris Jones is. So I think he's going to have a role on this team. He can also play some edge, too. He's about 285, so he can kind of play inside out. So excited to see him get back into the fold. He's been a solid rotation player for this team, and I think he'll be so once again with maybe even a slightly bigger role here in 2023. Who's excited to have Turk Wharton back? I know I am. Type me in the comments if you are. Let's get it spamming down below. Show Turk some love. All right, some camp updates on the injury front. Guys who didn't practice today: Michael Danna, Jody Fortson, of course, Chris Jones, Charles Omenihu, L'Jarius Sneed, Reese Taylor, Kadarius Toney, Jaylen Watson, which is a new one. Drew Tranquill is back, so that's good to see. I do want to touch on this Watson one just a little bit because he obviously was a big surprise for you last year. Had that 100-yard pick six in week 2 of Justin Herbert. Played well in the playoffs, 6 breakups as a whole. And Kansas City already lost cornerback Najee Johnson earlier in camp with the torn ACL. So got to keep an eye on this because L'Jarius Sneed's been banged up with the knee. You got a lot of depth at corner, but if you're down 3 guys, that's, you can only take so much. So definitely keeping an eye on that position. We'll continue to monitor this and have updates. Hopefully it's mostly precautionary stuff. It's early on in camp still. Don't want to, push the needle too much if guys aren't 100%, but definitely watching that corner spot because you did already lose Najee Johnson. All right, guys, that's it for today's Chiefs Report. We will hit you guys with some more news and updates as training camp goes along. Happy Friday. Enjoy your weekend coming up. We'll have more content very soon.